Welcome to the Lion's Den. Let's go. Let's go.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Lion's Den podcast, available on all platforms and on YouTube. So hit that comment, like, and subscribe button. I'm your host, Money Compton. Got my other host, so there's not a co-host. We're both in this 50-50 share. So we're not co-hosts. We're both hosts. So my host, Mike O, what it do?
What
under
up?
the weather, on the injured reserve right now, but he was able to make it happen tonight. So
Yeah,
out to
check
my
it
man.
out. Twisted my ankle. It's a little swollen. I don't know if I can get a good angle. You can kind of tell right there. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But yeah, it's all good though. Got the gamer headset, trying something new.
Yeah, so hopefully this week's episode should be a little bit better. I know last week was somewhat of a downer for obvious reasons. And I mean, obviously this week is, we're trying to spread a little bit more positivity around. But, for my fellow protesters that are out there holding it down, keep doing what you're doing. If you're going to go protest, know what you're protesting for. If you want to make a donation, make sure you're doing your research on who you're donating to. If you're being more vocal on social media, just know what your end game is or what you're trying to be vocal about. And I promise you, you'll be in good hands. So that being said, man,
don't feed the trolls.
And don't feed the trolls, and make sure you proofread. Make sure you proofread as well. Like, we got a lot of people out here that don't really proofread before you hit this in. But the cool part about it is we got autocorrect, so you shouldn't really have to know how to spell. Like, you're kind of, if you get the word close enough, like it'll automatically.
One thing if it's like if it's one thing if they spell it and then it's just a wrong word, I'll understand that because it's like, all right, autocorrect did its job. But if you're just not spelling words correctly, something wrong, man.
Yeah,
something wrong.
Yeah, bro. So with that being said, man, we've had some sports coming along. Some sporting events are starting to come to life, and I just saw Top Rank had a boxing event today. This past weekend was UFC 250, if I'm not mistaken.
250, yep.
Yeah, so the card wasn't the most stacked card.
In terms of star power, it wasn't, but
no, it had a couple.
It's a lot of bangers though, and they ended up being bangers. Like, I already knew a lot of the fights are going to be bangers because I mean, if you don't follow it that much, you won't know half the people on there. But I do, so I knew exactly who was fighting. So it's like I knew it was going to deliver. It's just that in terms of like a star-studded lineup or like that people care about because they know them, you're not going to get that. But
I know outside of Manny Nunez, I think the only other person I know on the card was Cody.
And that's why it was the co-main.
Cody, what's his last name? Former champion, lightweight champion, right? Lightweight bantamweight. Okay, so former bantamweight champion. So those are only two people I knew. I actually was only able to watch the main event with the Manny Nunez, and
it was a wash.
Bro, like, man, I don't know, man. She's borderline like touching Serena Williams status. Like, she's just, male or female, just one of the best athletes that has just hit the octagon. I mean, we obviously had Ronda Rousey to kind of put women's MMA on the map. And Ronda Rousey, maybe Chris Cyborg is another one that you could possibly think of that kind of were the women pioneers of MMA. But Amanda Nunez has literally just ate both of them and just ate them as if there was just lunch money. I always think about what happened in UFC 250 when Amanda Nunez against Ronda Rousey and basically forced Ronda Rousey into retirement. Like, it was curtains for her. So
they figured her out. That's the thing. They figured it out because, I mean, it's Ronda Rousey is good in judo, right? So you have to get close. She has to be able to get you and take you down. And she had a lot of power to do that. But when you got fighters that know how to keep their distance, have a strong stand-up, it's a hard night out for a grappler. Yeah. So that's what happened. And Nunez is not a slouch on the ground either. So that's,
that's the scary thing about it. So
yeah.
But I'm gonna give a shout out. I mean, shout out to Felicia Spence. So like she stuck it out for 25 minutes.
Did I mean? Here's the thing. I mean, shout out to her for surviving, but I mean, I don't know. It's kind of weird giving props to somebody for being a punching bag, but I guess I mean she's tough. She's tough.
I mean,
But
she's tough, but I mean, how many other females can say that they've actually went 25 minutes with Amanda Nunez?
and Cyborg,
And yeah, well, I
but got
mean, yeah,
worked. Got worked all 10 rounds though. She didn't win a single round, but she's definitely
yeah,
tough. But I don't know. Got I mean, when I watched the embeddeds, and I'm not trying to clown. I was watching the embeddeds. I might have told you. I was like, this is her, and I saw like Spencer with her striking, and they're just like shadow boxing, and I'm like, oh, oh, this is not going to be good. This is not going to
yeah,
end well if
yeah.
that's what the stand up looks like. And
But I mean, in all fairness, I mean, what is necessarily really out there for Amanda Nunez? Like, I mean,
the
she's
only
so
competitive
light
fight
years over.
is Valentina
Cat,
Shevchenko, but then so they both fought at 135 before, and Nunez won both times, real close though. And then Valentina Shevchenko went down to 125, and she got the strap, and she's been killing everybody down there at 125. So that's her weight class. You know, Nunez is 135 and 145. She's never going to cut to 125, so we won't see it where Valentina is at her prime, at her best. And honestly,
yeah,
when she goes to 135, she's smaller than a lot of the other women in that division. So
right.
that's the only intriguing matchup really at this point. There is one other girl in the 145 division. What's her name? Megan
Cat,
Anderson. She's like she's super tall, fully tatted, but she lost to Spencer. The last fight that Spencer had
yeah,
was Felice Spencer was with
yeah,
her, and she lost. But at the same time, she's a stand-up fighter, so it might be a little more intriguing
right.
because Spencer's
Yeah,
all ground.
yeah. I'm not too keen, or I don't know enough as far as household and women MMA fighters, but I mean, outside of what was that last fight that I saw, the Chinese chick and that one girl that had a huge
Wei
hematoma on her,
Li Zhang
and I mean, she's not
versus
even that.
Joanna.
Yeah, like I don't think
That's 115.
I 115 like that. They're not. No, they're not putting on 20 pounds to even move up to that.
No,
So, I mean, if we're talking about, I mean, Ronda Rousey, Amanda Nunez is literally, uh, in both divisions, 135 and 145. Like it ain't really nothing for her to really at this point do. Or I mean, there's nothing she can really do at this point besides defending both straps at the same time. But
and she did that.
I'm not trying to bang or kind of clown on the other fighters in that division, but ain't nobody touching this chick right now, bro. Like
Too much of a gap,
yeah,
and
it's a huge gap. I mean,
it was crazy. You remember that one dude? He made $1 million bet on Nunez, and initially I was like, "Yo, that's a horrible. I mean, that's high risk, low reward. That's a horrible bet." But then as the fight progressed, I'm like, you know what? That's an easy bet. That was an easy call. That was the easiest $165,000 that dude probably ever made.
yeah. I mean, the best bet probably would have been if you took the over. I think the rounds was over 1.5 or over under, and the under or over was like plus two something.
Hmm.
So if you took the over on that, I mean, you probably would have made a nice little fettuccine on that part of the on that prop bet on that fight. But it was just like you're playing NBA 2K on rookie. Like it was just that easy.
What are you trying,
That
man?
easy.
Hey, that's how I play NBA 2K. What are you talking
That
about?
is how I play too. I'm pretty, and I've lost to the
Dude,
computer
hey,
too.
2K, man, they be cheating. The computer be cheating in that game.
Facts, bro.
But you heard Fight Island, man.
Yeah, so
Abu
251.
Dhabi.
Yeah, you told me about it today, actually. So, those are what, three straps on there.
Three, man.
Burns, the guy that just beat Tyron Woodley.
Bro, he's fighting for the third time in 5 months.
Yeah, I mean,
Crazy.
I'm surprised that the turnaround for him is that soon because he just beat Woodley. What was that, like last weekend?
Yeah, he put a whooping on the boy, though, as you saw. So, I mean,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
ready to go. If he's
yeah.
ready to go and Dana's like, okay, you want to fight? And let's go. Let's do it. So,
Well,
it's
we'll get to
intriguing.
that part pretty soon.
Yeah, that's coming up.
Uh, um, so you got Usman against Burns.
And the teammates.
There's two other, yeah, and their teammates. There's two other belts on the line.
We have
I forgot the other two.
oh my god, I'm drawing a blank. Oh, Aldo versus Peter Yan
Yes,
for the bantamweight strap, and then
yes,
we have
uh-huh,
Holloway versus Volkanovski rematch.
yeah.
So
So
that's a banger, man. 3 title fights. That's
I
awesome.
think it's worth me paying $64.99 for that fight.
Yeah,
I
I'm probably gonna support it. I think it'll be
I
pretty
think so
dope,
too.
man. I mean, the way it sounds, like how they have the whole Fighter Island set up, it sounds super dope. They got like they're gonna have like a octagon outside for like training purposes.
Hmm.
Hotel's gonna be there. The octagon that they're fighting is gonna actually be indoors, so that's cool. I'm sure they're gonna do it up real nice.
Oh, for sure. Being the
So,
fact that it's in Dubai as well, so
yeah,
I wouldn't put it past anything being extravagant over the top just because it's Dubai.
yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah.
because that's just how they do it. So it's going to be interesting. I know Top Rank had their boxing. They had their boxing matches today here, actually in Las Vegas, and they're actually using one of the convention centers at the MGM as their little fight camp and whatnot. They also have they've blocked off a wing of the MGM Grand as well, where it's just basically a fight wing. So that's where all the fighters are staying at. That's where all the trainers and things like that. They have to get tested for COVID-19. Once when they get tested, they're in the room for 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah.
You cannot step out of the room until they actually get the results. They get that via a phone call. Everything's good to go, and then they actually basically sanitize that floor, I think 3 or 4 times throughout the whole day. So they're trying to, they're trying to give us content. I'm gonna give them an A for effort. I watched the majority of it before I went out to dinner tonight. But from what I saw, I mean, I'm gonna give them an A for effort. But I think if this is coming from a huge boxing junkie, I think MMA is doing the best job right now as far as sports goes, as far as having it as close to the realest thing that you possibly can, or you're not really missing the fans. Like I've watched, I think 3 or 4 MMAs. I think I've watched more MMA during this time than I have probably within the last year and a half.
Yeah.
But even when I'm watching these MMA fights, it's like, okay, like I'm not really missing fans not being there. It's
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 kind of
not bad.
cool because honestly, sometimes with the fans, it can be distracting, man. Like if two guys or gals are like up and then they're clinching, they're trying to gain control, then you hear boos. I'm like, man, hey.
Well,
So it's kind of
I
cool
mean,
that you don't hear that stuff. Like you can
kind
just
of the same thing with Stylebender and the Cuban dude.
Yoel
Um,
Romero.
yeah, a few months ago, where people were mad about Stylebender kind of just he kind of played a safe fight against Romero
Dude,
because he
man,
knew
Yoel is trying to get the belt.
right, and
So
he didn't. Yeah, and so
yeah,
I didn't. Yeah, so I was at the fight, so a lot of people were booing,
yeah,
they were
yeah,
getting
yeah.
frustrated. But I mean, I was sitting there, I was just like, from what I seen from Romero, like I don't think I'd want to bang with this dude. I don't think I want to clinch up and throw with him.
No,
So
you
I'm
gotta be
gonna try to.
smart.
So I think what Stylebender did was just he kind of just played it safe. He didn't want to take any chances. He needed to do what he needed to do to get out there and keep it pushing. So I can't really, so I see what you're saying as far as
And yeah, I mean, Izzy,
maybe
like,
fans not being there.
on that point, like Izzy, his defensive striking is great. So I think he was waiting for it because Yoel is usually pretty aggressive. So I thought
Right.
he's probably thinking like, all right, he's gonna come in. I'm gonna try to read it and hit him up or
But
whatever. But yeah,
that's
to your
perfect
point,
example.
yeah, when you were
Perfect.
when you heard like a lot of booing and it kind of, I think sometimes it might even influence the judges, man. Like if you hear
Kind of.
booing and stuff.
Or
So
it might even influence the fighters. It's like, man,
yeah,
maybe I got to sit here and do more. And,
and not stick to
that's
the game plan. If they have a specific game plan and fans don't like it, then they get peer pressure to do something else,
facts.
and
Big
then
facts.
can go real bad real quick.
Absolutely. Agreed.
So,
Yeah. So,
but it works, man. That's the main thing. It's weird that it works. I
yeah.
feel like I mean I like NXT and stuff, right? They
Yeah,
have like the
we'll
roster
get
in the
there.
crowd right now, right?
Yeah. So,
I
I'm
haven't
glad.
watched, so I have no idea.
So NXT had their takeover, which is like one of NXT WWE's third brand. They don't like to be called the developmental brand anymore.
Yeah.
Some people may say that NXT is the hottest brand of wrestling out there in the open market. I don't know how to feel about that. I just feel like wrestling in general is just kind of at this point.
Yeah.
Takeover was this past Sunday. And for that to be a takeover, that was probably the worst. I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna say it's the worst takeover, bro. Like I wasn't really
Was it
intrigued.
the I think I've seen some clips. Was it like the in your house setup?
It was the in your house setup, which was okay.
Kind of
That's
cool.
cool.
I
I
like I
mean,
saw that. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, man. It brings back memories, but I didn't
yeah.
watch any of it, so I have no idea how the actual card went.
I mean, so I didn't think it was the best NXT card. I think it was pretty whack, and I think a lot of people. I'll just go on a limb and say that the women's division, which used to be very very deep and solid, and it was just a huge pipeline. Like I think that pipeline has gone dry. They opened it up with a 6-women's tag match with like Tegan Knox, Mia Yim, Candice LeRae, some new chick, Black. Her last name is Blackheart or something. She comes down in a little mini tank. But her gimmick is just terrible. And they had this one big person that looked like China that was out here demolishing people. But I mean, usually the NXT, the first match usually sets the tone for the night, and it fell flat. Like I didn't enjoy it. They had Finn Balor against what's this guy's
I
name?
forgot about
Guys, I
Finn
know his
Balor.
ring of Damian Priest. It was okay. It was okay. They had another WWE cinematic match, which was just garbage. I'm not really feeling the
I like
WWE.
those. I personally like those, but
I'm not feeling it. Like, I mean, the consensus was even the Adam Cole Velveteen Dream match. Like, that was just it was too like it was unnecessary. Like, why do that? So Velveteen Dream loses, and the stipulation was that if he lost, that he would never be able to challenge for the title again. So everyone was speculating that he'll probably be getting called up to Raw or SmackDown. That
that's
doesn't look like
usually
it's
what it
taking.
is.
So they've already said that he's not going to be getting called up anytime soon, which is crazy because
Oh,
I don't know what he's going to do now. He can't fight for the North American title. They had Keith Lee versus what's the guy's name? Keith Lee versus Johnny Gargano for the North American title. I mean, it was a good match. Like it was a really good match. Both people got to show off their skill sets and whatnot. Keith Lee being such a big dude and being able to be so athletic. Johnny Gargano probably be one of the most best technical wrestlers in the world right now. So it was a pretty good. That was probably the best match of the night. And then obviously the main event was Io Shirai versus Rhea Ripley against Charlotte, and Io takes the belt.
I
But
saw that. I didn't watch the fight, but I saw that she won.
so
I'm just glad Charlotte didn't win. That's all I'm saying, man.
I say that with the women's division, I really think that if you take those 3 women out of the division in NXT, there's really nobody that you can literally market the women's division NXT. Dakota Kai and Tegan Knox, like they ain't it. Mia Yim, like I thought she was going to be there, but I don't know why they haven't pulled the trigger on her. She seems like somebody that can maybe carry the women's, but there's nobody outside of Io Shirai right now that can carry the women's division. I'm assuming Rhea Ripley is going to be getting called up to the main roster. Charlotte's already going to Raw because she has to fill the void of Becky Lynch being gone for probably forever now. We don't know.
Was the initial thing, was the original plan was Charlotte staying in NXT, or was she still in Raw, SmackDown, whatever?
I think she was officially still on Raw, but being the fact that she won the Royal Rumble, she got to challenge any title, and she kind of went back down to NXT to kind of bolster the women's division. But I'm looking at this women's division, and I don't see anything that I don't see another Sasha Banks. I don't see another Bayley. I don't see another Ember Moon. I don't see another Shayna Baszler, as much as I can't stand her. There's not another Charlotte. There's not another Becky Lynch. Like there's nobody. And if we're going to go down to the mid cards, okay, Ruby Riott. Ruby Riott's not bad. If you want to go Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, like all of these chicks came from NXT. Like I don't see any of those right now coming up. Like there's nobody that can even come close to it. Like I don't see Tegan Knox. I don't see Dakota Kai. The Blackheart chick, no, that gimmick is terrible. Maybe the big chick that looked like China. I don't even know her name.
I don't even know who
But
you're
Io
talking
Shirai,
about.
yeah. So Io Shirai is probably the best person, but eventually she's probably going to get called up to the main roster. Hell, I forgot to name Asuka and Kairi Sane. Like, there's nobody really outside of the women's division that I'm looking at within the next year or so to be like, that person can come up to Raw or SmackDown.
So what's missing? What is missing?
I don't know. I honestly think that they pulled too many women. They called too many women up to the main roster, and they weren't thinking about. It's almost like you pour too much into one bucket, and you don't think about this other bucket. Like I know that they're bringing talent in, but obviously WWE has the deepest women's division outside of any promotion in the WWE. But like they've invested so much in the Raw and SmackDown that they forgot this bucket, and the people that they're bringing in this bucket, it's not. It's not the quality that they have in the main roster. You can't. What they have here is never going to be the end product is always going to be over here. But what you start with right here, if it's not deep enough, if it's not if you don't have a nice, it's like a farm system baseball. If you don't have like prospects and things like that that are going to be your Aaron Judges or your Mike Trouts and things like that, your farm system is going to be terrible. And I just think that their farm system, like they've depleted the farm system by moving them up to the big leagues, and now they have nothing to show for in the women's division. So I don't know what the end game is, but I don't see within the next year or so NXT continuing this momentum personally. There's a lot of people that, who get caught up from NXT to the main roster, and you don't really hear from them, like the War Raiders, the Viking Express, whatever the hell they're called. Best tag teams probably in the world. They're not doing anything. Ricochet, I haven't seen him on TV in months. Aleister Black, like I don't see him doing anything anymore. Like there's so many people that have gotten called up to the main roster and they just get poof. Like Bobby Roode is another perfect example. So there's so many people that have won. Shinsuke Nakamura, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. The list goes on of people who've gotten called up to the main roster, and for whatever reason, a lot of people like to blame Vince, but it is Vince's fault. But at the end of the day, a lot of these people sign these contracts knowing what the end game is, and if this is what you're going to sign your contract to, and don't get mad at what happens, and you can't keep blaming Vince for all of the mishaps of what you chose to do. And that's just kind of where I'm at with people when they say, well, it's Vince's fault that they didn't get it. Well, these people, history has shown that Vince doesn't really give people opportunities, and he doesn't know what's going on in NXT. So why would you? That's like me sitting there that's like me getting a job, Mike, at your company. You hire me at your company. They're going to be like, all right, bro, you'll probably get promoted, but when you get promoted, you're the head guy will never recognize your talents, and he doesn't care how good you are. He's never going to recognize your hard work. He's never going to recognize your efforts, and you always going above and beyond and being able to show our prospects or show our shareholders that you are this rising star and you're the guy that can carry this company. He does, like the CEO is not going to care, but you can come work here, you can make good money, but you're
bag.
never. You can get the bag, but
Yeah.
you will never, ever get recognized. And some people, so then that's on you. So now you forewarned me. Now it's up to me to say, nah, bro, like I kind of want to get recognition. Or you kind of just be like you said, you just want to secure the bag. So all these people that are blaming Vince, I'm not going to, Vince is part of the problem. But a lot of these people are signing these contracts knowing that this is the end game. And I can't sit there and always use Vince as a crutch, man. Like, I don't think that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know what's wrong with the product at this point. I just know that I'm not interested in even watching, man. It's just kind of bad.
Yeah. So thank God Bruce Lee came on right at the end of the night, because I was over it, to be honest with you.
I didn't even 100% watch it, to be honest. I watched the second half. The first half I was out and about doing a little jog with my dog. Pre-ankle spraying from today. So yeah, I got back and it was like 7:00. So I caught some of the second half. Seemed a little slow. I need to watch it again because I'm like one of the biggest. Man, I love Bruce Lee, man. So
yeah, I think so.
And it's not just because we share the same last name. We might be related. That's not why. It's I love that dude. So I'm gonna rewatch it. It's 2 hours, so I gotta find time to really focus and watch it. But
it was definitely it was slower than some of the other Bruce Lee documentaries that I've seen. It wasn't bad, but it was very slow.
They did touch on a lot of social issues in that, it seemed like.
They did.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fitting that it would come out around this time right now as well. So I just thought it was a little too slow. They did touch, like you said, on some social things as far as being, especially Asians, of what they kind of had to go through during the industrial.
And what's crazy is what Bruce Lee had to go through against his own people. His own people didn't even accept what he was doing.
Yeah.
In terms of teaching other ethnicities martial arts.
There's a movie. Ironically, WWE. It's a WWE Films movie. I can't think of it, but basically,
like the Red Dragon or something like that.
Something like that. Where
I think I heard of it.
It staples how it was supposed to be this greatest showdown, and I think it actually happened in San Francisco, like Kezar Gym or something like that.
Oh, okay.
It might have been Kezar, but it was in the city, and it was basically Bruce Lee against this one dude from China. Like I forgot what the dude's name was, but he was like this. He was part of this Buddhist temple martial arts, but he got shunned for, I guess, hitting this dude. So he gets exiled out of China. And Bruce Lee finds out that the dude's here, and like he was basically, they kind of portrayed as Bruce Lee being a dirtbag by just basically
So it's a
belittling his.
fictional deal. It's a fictional show.
It's a true story.
Oh, okay.
And it basically comes down to these two dudes, Bruce Lee and this dude, supposed to show down and have this fight of the fight, and it doesn't happen. Well, it does happen, and it doesn't happen. Anywho, make a long story short, that was a good documentary. It kind of showed like how this dude the dude who came from China was basically looking at Bruce Lee like, bro, like, why are you teaching non-Asians,
Yeah.
kung fu? So, and Bruce Lee was just basically saying that, hey, I'm here to show, like, he was basically saying that by showing other races kung fu, it's exposing us and being able to kind of have maybe these people have appreciation for us. So, I mean, it was kind of interesting to see that. I thought that documentary was, it wasn't a documentary, it was actually a movie. So I forgot what that movie name. It might be The Red Dragon. But
Google, let me see.
Yeah, I forgot. It's WWE Films, which is ironic.
WWE Bruce Lee film movie. It's called
Birth of the Dragon.
Birth of the Dragon.
Yep.
Maybe I'll check it out. I know, like, when I was
it's not bad. I saw it in the theaters.
Oh,
it's not bad. Yeah, I saw it in the theaters. It's not bad.
I'll probably give it a watch.
I might rent it tomorrow. I might watch it tomorrow. It was pretty good. Obviously it's got a little Hollywood kind of story, some tied in, some stupid Hollywood type of plot to it. But I mean, it's watchable. It's not bad. It's probably the best ever WWE films, the movie they've done, actually. So
See No Evil. Come on, man. See No Evil is pretty dope.
It is pretty dope, actually. It's a great movie.
It's kind of good, man. I'm surprised.
So with that being said, hey, man, I just actually saw something on the ticker that kind of maybe tie into our next segment that we were going to talk about too, and it kind of falls back in with UFC. Man, what the hell's going on with Dana White, bro? Like, you got a whole bunch of pissed off fighters at him right now, and I just saw Jorge Masvidal. Did I just say his name right?
Jorge Masvidal?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he was saying that basically he wants Dana White to turn over the books and be like, bro, we think you low-key holding back on the money, and you're pocketing the money and not sharing the profits to your fighters. And he's asking for Dana White to turn over the books now. So you got him pissed off. I've heard John Jones is pretty much angry that he wants to get out of his deals.
Henry Cejudo retired.
Henry Cejudo retired. Conor McGregor,
Conor McGregor's mad for a different reason, though. He's not mad because of money.
Yeah, but that's what I was actually getting to. It was somebody else that I just saw that said that they're not really too happy as well. But, a lot of these people are saying that's not even – well, I mean, I think outside of Conor McGregor, I think Jorge Masvidal even said it's not even about the money at this point, is that – yo, bro, like, I know Conor McGregor was just like, I just want to fight, and you're not even letting me try to fight.
Jorge wants to bag. Jorge wants to bag because he's been fighting for a long time. He hasn't been getting paid that much, and at this point, man, he's becoming a star. Jorge is becoming a star, so he probably does deserve it. John Jones, he gets paid, but for his situation, he's a huge risk, right? He's going to heavyweight, never been there before, fighting Francis Ngannou. That was the whole plan. That's a huge risk. He's like, I just want to get compensated for what I'm about to get into. This is a lot on the line. Legacy's on the line. He's making a huge jump. So it's like, so it makes sense. I mean, there's conflicting stories, right? So Bones says, hey, I never even discussed pay. We're just having a light conversation. Dana's like, man, he was asking for wilder money. So it's like, I don't know. It's a hot mess. But yeah, I mean, they're all like,
he's asking for wilder money, bro. Like, at this point, I mean, this meaning John Jones. John Jones has been one of the top fighters in the last 10 12 years.
I mean, he's arguably the GOAT. So
that's what I'm saying. So if you're John Jones, Conor McGregor, obviously, I mean, he got his back from the Mayweather fight, so he's actually set for life. But he is he's possibly the biggest draw in UFC.
He is the biggest draw. He got the number 1, number 2, and the number 3, I believe, and the number 5. Top
he's got the biggest, so he's the biggest draw probably in the sport. You got Masvidal, who's a rising star, but if you're talking about now, allegedly Dana White might be holding back on some of the revenues. Like, if this is true and there's some type of arbitration or somehow some lawyers are able to get involved, and then there's some quarters that are saying, "Hey, Dana White, you need to start opening up these books, man." He's looking a little 45-ish since I just sat there and said his name. Like, he's looking like, I mean, what is the end? Like, do you think Dana White needs to just open up the checkbook and just start paying these dudes out? I mean, why is he not paying them? Is what I'm trying to figure out.
I don't know. I really don't know, man. I mean,
Because it's not like they can go
it's not
anywhere.
that. I mean, it's not like it's just happened now. I mean, everyone's been underpaid.
GSP is one. That's another reason why he kind of didn't fight for a long time, or he kind of semi-retired.
He wants to fight. He just wants a legacy fight. I don't think he's hungry for money either.
But he
gets paid though. GSP will get paid.
Well, yeah, I mean, but before that, I forgot who's the guy that the last fight that he fought.
Bisping.
Was that guy? Not Bisping. The one before that, John. The one that he really lost, but they still gave it to him. This was back in like.
Talking about Johnny Hendricks?
Yeah. Like, even back then they were saying that he wasn't getting paid, and that's low-key why he kind of stepped away. But then it was also about people not testing correctly and people possibly being on PEDs.
Yeah, because Hendricks was on some stuff.
Yeah.
At that time. On some stuff.
So I don't know. Like, so do you think Dana needs to start paying these boys? I mean, why isn't he paying these boys? It ain't like these fighters can go anywhere. Where are they gonna go?
You know what's the problem? So if you ask, like, how much did this fighter get paid? Nobody really knows what they really get paid.
The purse.
You know? Yeah, nobody really knows. Like, John Jones just disclosed, hey, I make $5 million a fight. I don't know if that includes sponsors, if that includes whatever else, you know. There's other stuff, pay-per-view buys, all that. So nobody really knows. So I feel like it's hard for any kind of fighter to try to negotiate. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to go, hey, this person gets paid this much, I'm bringing this much in, I should get paid this much. Because nobody really knows who gets paid what. So, like, baseball players or football players, basketball players, you know what their contract. This is their contract. This is how many years. This is how much they're getting paid. Cool, we can negotiate because I know what this person is getting paid. Nobody really knows the total amount that each fighter is getting paid. So it's kind of hard. I think that's in Dana White's favor, right? Because he can just kind of go, hey, I'll pay you this much. You're on a 5-fight contract.
Fights. Yeah,
5-6 fights, whatever, at this rate, you know. Things might change. We can renegotiate, but we don't have to. We don't have to agree to a new term if you're still within that old contract. So I don't know, man. I mean, I would expect eventually, I mean, with the sport growing and stuff, I would expect the pay should increase. I think fighters should get paid, but I don't know I don't know if Dana's just holding the money back, or I mean, maybe there's a specific structure we don't know about. Or this
not
is
to mention they just got what Zuffa sold it to. I forgot whatever franchise.
A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P. That company. For whatever amount. Yeah, for that huge amount.
$4 billion. They sold the company for $4 billion. So it's not like they're hurting for money.
They're not hurting for money, but at the same time, the new pay-per-view structure is like it's not.
That's very interesting.
It's not so much dependent on how well the fighters can sell, because they're getting a set amount of money from ESPN either way. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I don't know. Like, that's why Dana was like, hey, if you don't want to fight, you don't have to fight. If you don't want to fight, you don't fight. But then at the same time, if they don't fight, they don't get paid. And it's not like they can fight elsewhere because they're stuck on a contract, even though they're contractors. So it's kind of weird. It's a very weird situation.
It is.
So they're contractors. So they fight for UFC. If they feel like, hey, this isn't right, they can't go anywhere else because they're stuck in an exclusive contract. So it's like, it's a weird structure. I don't know, but they should. I think they should. I mean, in certain situations. I mean, come on, John Jones versus Francis Ngannou. You don't think that's gonna sell like crazy?
That's gonna sell, bro. That's gonna sell like hotcakes.
And this is John Jones, man. This is your guy. Like, he's been.
This is your A-lister.
Company forever. And
loyal soldiers, bro.
Goats, like, don't do anything to jeopardize him saying, "Hey, peace out. I'm done with you guys." You know.
But then again, and then there's the flip side on that. So if you say John Jones, all right, deuces, I'm out, I'm going. Where's he gonna go? Bellator?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think he secured a bag. I think he's fine.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
but at the same time, what are you gonna do to improve your legacy further? What are you gonna do?
Yeah. What can you do? Like, you can't go to Bellator. I mean, you could.
We talked about that last week. Yeah, you could, but
what's that? I mean, if anything, it's going to tarnish your legacy. Like, I don't think there's anybody at 205 in Bellator that is sniffing anybody else like a Anthony Smith or a Francis Ngannou. I mean, who's he going to fight? Fedor? I mean, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Dan Henderson's going to come out of nowhere. Chael Sonnen. I mean, okay. That's. I mean, I'm just pulling names out of just to be. because that's basically the talent pool that Bellator has, and that's not a knock against Bellator.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just a whole bunch of.
They're not. Yeah, there's just UFC does not have any competitors that are
It
on the
doesn't.
same level. So
Right.
what are you gonna
It's
do?
kind of like the WWE to a certain extent, where they can kind of just, put out crap, garbage, quality products because they know that people are going to go give into it, and they know that no one really has an option to go anywhere else. I know a lot more people are kind of looking at AEW or maybe even Japan at this point as, places to go. But even Japan and AEW, they're even saying like, hey, just because you got dropped from the WWE doesn't mean that we're gonna scoop up everyone.
Can't get everybody.
I mean, not only that, they're saying that they're not going to get everyone because that's not how this is. Like, they don't want to overshadow the people that they're trying to
Right.
market.
They don't
So
want to oversaturate the roster.
not only oversaturated, but it's like, all right, we got a whole bunch of people that have been here since day one. Like, what do we look like trying to bring John Jones? Just as an example, to bring John Jones over here, give him all the buku chips, give him all the clout, give him all the limelight. When Fighter X has been busting his butt for us, he's been a loyal soldier. He comes, he shows up.
Yeah.
He's been selling pay-per-views. He's been knocking people out. Like, he's on the correct path. I mean, you can't. So it's a tough situation. So I don't know where these fighters can go. I don't know what the right answer is, but I think that, this is a perfect opportunity for the UFC to just capitalize and be able to get so many new fans into the sport right now. Like, this is their moment of opportunity to be able to just gobble up all the TV time that they can with ESPN, gobble up as much as they can, and just seize the moment. Because I don't think after next month, maybe like July, it's curtains, bro. For football's about to be coming back, and I guarantee you fans will
Basketball
be.
too.
Yeah, basketball's going to be back. Like, I guarantee you fans will be at football games. Like, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, like, it's going to happen. Like, I can't see empty football stadiums. Like, it's going to happen. So this is they literally only have maybe another 30, 45 days max to be able to capitalize this. And if not, it's curtains. So they need to be able to get, like, I don't understand how, outside of Khabib, I don't understand how they can't get basically almost like a night of champion. Well, it's too late now. What they could have did is maybe like a Night of Champions card, where basically all champions just defend their belts on one card and just market the best fighters that you have and just go from there. That would just from now, like UFC 251, that's three championship belts, 3 straps are on the line. Like, everything right now, they just got to front load it and just kind of just go all in on the poker chips and just be like, all right, we're just going to go all in. We're going to market the best. But
yeah, that's the thing too, though. Like, the whole back to McGregor, right? Like, he wants to fight. He don't care about money. He just wants to fight because he's like, this year I want to fight 3-4 times.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think he's just frustrated because UFC is like, hold up, like, wait. They probably want to wait until Live Gate come back so they can make more money off of McGregor. But at the same time, this is a good opportunity. Hey, get McGregor, put it on main ESPN, bro. Just put it on TV.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor on TV. Watch how many viewerships that.
It's gonna be a
nice
of people.
Yeah, and get a nice little undercard where, like, maybe some up and comers that people don't know about, and they can get their name because everyone's gonna tune in to watch the Conor fight. So I don't know, man.
1,000% agree. Like, even if you put like Conor against, he said he's one. They're kind of feeding him. Like, even though Cowboy wasn't supposed to be a walkover fight, but put him against Pettis.
He already beat Pettis.
Allegedly.
No, he didn't beat Pettis. I thought you meant Poirier, but no. Like, the next fight was supposed to be
Anderson Silva.
No, but cause you know how much weight McGregor has to get. Like, he's already bloated at 170. He didn't even want to fight. Here's the thing: he didn't really want to fight at 170. It's just that when he fought Cowboy, the UFC made him fight at what? This is kind of his complaint. This is my like interpretation of what he was saying when he interviewed Ariel. He's saying, hey, they put me at 170 versus a Cowboy who was 155. I'm 155. I'm trying to get, and that was supposed to be for the 155 number one contender, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you had Gaethje, and then it was supposed to be Khabib and Ferg, right? And then supposedly Dana White said we offered McGregor to step in if one of those guys got hurt or something happened. And then McGregor said something like, I'm not a replacement fighter, just book me. And I get it. I
I
don't want to be valued like, hey, I'm just gonna replace you. So
I agree.
Gaethje, and then Khabib, and then McGregor was like, hey, you know what? If you guys aren't gonna book that fight till September or whatever, I'll fight Gaethje right now in July. Like he just wants to fight. He don't care who. He just wants to fight, and then he doesn't want to keep playing around with the weight classes because then they talked about Anderson Silva at like catch weight at like 175, 176. He's like, I gotta gain more weight. Like I don't even want to fight at 170. I want to fight at the 155 weight class, which is my ideal and best weight class where I can perform.
Right.
So I think he's just tired of it, and I think UFC didn't want to book anything because they wanted to wait to bank on a McGregor pay-per-view when the live gate's back and they
But
can.
we don't even know when live gate's coming back, bro. Like
Don't.
that's the thing.
Yeah, and that's why I think he's like, you know what, screw it, man. You guys don't want to book me for any fights. I'm done. I think that's. But I guarantee you, he's fighting by the end of the year.
He's coming back. Like, he's coming back. I think so. Like, I mean, like even if they do have live gate, like it's not going to be at 100% capacity. There's going to have to be baby steps.
Yeah,
we're talking maybe 20 to 30% gradually going all the way up to 100%.
Mm.
We don't even know if we'll get to 100% by the end of 2020. Like I just don't even know if that's. I mean, I don't know. But if that's the case, like I can't really blame Conor if people like at the end of the day, these people were fighting in practically empty arenas from the get-go. So it's not like this is something brand new to them. This is their passion. This is what they want to do. They want to fight. So if they want to fight, let them fight, bro. Like I 100% agree with you. Like Conor McGregor on ESPN, bro, they will probably get more ratings than The Last Dance. Like that's coming from a basketball fan, like a pure number one sport basketball fan junkie. I guarantee you, if Conor McGregor was on ESPN Saturday night prime time, it will be earth shattering.
It will, like, and this is the thing, right?
Even against someone like a Pettis.
Yeah, anything, right? Just get some eyes on there because there's the thing. They always have the prelims on cable, which is great, but usually the prelims are like people that
bootsy, bro.
Nobody knows. I mean, it's good fights, but nobody really knows them unless you're really into the sport. Right. Usually the main event on the prelims is a solid one where it's like a notable name.
Right.
The main card's where it's at, man. And I'm like, dude, I mean, it's crazy. I understand, hey, you probably for a McGregor fight, you want that on pay-per-view. But just imagine, like, sometimes it might be worth it. Yeah, it might be, and it might be worth it to have him on a main card on a televised show on ESPN, televised on ESPN, man. I don't know. I just feel like in the long run, you're going to get more fans because people are going to be like, oh, what's this? Oh, this is cool. Like, but if you just put on ESPN Plus, not that many people got ESPN Plus. And if they
with it being for free for the first week.
Right. And if they do, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have it because they like the docuseries, they like other sports down there. Like, they're not really going to get it. I mean, I got it because just for MMA, but I watch other stuff too. But most people aren't going to go, oh, let me see what's on the UFC thing. Like
I don't, and I got ESPN Plus. Like I use it for the documentaries and during football season they have NFL primetime. But other than that, I mean, I don't really flip the UFC.
Dude, put a nice card on freaking cable, man. I swear.
Bro, I would even be cool with DC and Metric 3 being on free.
Stipe Miocic?
Yeah, him. Yeah. Like I would be cool with that being for free on UFC, like on ESPN. I think that's a good. But hell, even back when if my memory recalls me correctly, when Fox had the contract for UFC, there was like maybe 2 or 3 like pay-per-view worthy cards that were on
Cain Velasquez versus Junior Dos Santos was the main event on the very first Fox card, I believe, on cable.
Like they had some lit cards where there were belts on the line.
Yeah,
ESPN ain't did that not one time since they've gotten this contract, and I'm not sitting there saying that Fox did it right, but I mean Fox did do it right as far as marketing. Like you said, Dos Santos against Cain Velasquez, I think for the heavyweight championship of the world, was like their first. Like they had actual belts on the line on free TV.
Yeah,
I don't understand why ESPN hasn't even thought of that, especially at a time like this.
It doesn't even have to be McGregor. I'm just saying, like,
that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I just said DC versus Stipe. Yeah, that's something that's I think that could be for free.
Hell, even the like these fight nights, the Woodley versus Burns.
Yeah,
put that crap on cable, man.
I think they did put the main event on cable. I think they did, but the overall card was still on ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
But still, I don't know. Like this is to me, it's almost foolproof to be able to put this on free TV right now. Like people are losing their jobs, and I get why maybe you don't want to put Amanda Nunes on free, but you could put, like you said, I think there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of fighters that are not household names, but pretty good
They
names that
could
people.
become household names. That's the thing. So I
Yeah,
think, I mean, one thing I think maybe is a contractual thing. Maybe ESPN's like, hey, it has to be on ESPN Plus. We need the subscribership. Maybe that's what it is. Because if they
I'm
put
cool.
stuff
Okay,
on
so okay,
cable, then
I
I'm
would be
not.
even cool. I would be even cool with them saying, "All right, we'll put Conor McGregor on ESPN Plus, but you ain't got to buy the pay-per-view." Like, I
Yeah.
would even be cool with
Right.
that.
Yeah.
I'd be feeling salty about it. I'd be low key salty about it. I'd be cool with that.
Yeah, because you're only paying $5, and there's
Right,
no double paywall. There's only one
right.
thing. Like, hey, you want to watch McGregor fight tonight? Hey, subscribe to the ESPN Plus, or sign up for the free trial for a week, and you can just like how WWE does it. Hey, you get a free month, you
Yep,
can watch WrestleMania for free and
yep. You
Elimination
can.
Chamber. Like
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. We don't own the UFC. What do we know? I'm just saying. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't work for Disney as well, so we don't own
Yeah,
ESPN. But
yeah. Mickey
I,
Mouse has his way of doing things. So
yeah, I just think that, man, they gotta. I don't know. I don't know. You got all of these big time, high profile fighters that are like asking questions and they're rumblings now. I don't know how I feel. That's not good. I don't think
it's
that's a
not.
good sign. When you got literally 3 to 4 of your top, not want to say top, well, belt holders. Like all 4 of them actually hold belts outside of Masvidal. But
Yeah, the
technically,
BMF belt.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He technically has a belt.
Yeah.
But you have 4 of your top dogs, your lead working horses that are like, nah, bro, like we're good. So I don't know how to right this wrong, but I don't think it's leading into good terms right now. I don't think it's a good time to be in the UFC.
I mean, to Dana's point, I mean, maybe it's just the way how the times is right now. It's just everyone's frustrated, so it could elevate. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm sure most people want to get paid more. Of course, like with my job, I would love to get paid more. So maybe it's just, hey, this is with this whole COVID, all this stuff, maybe people
yeah,
realizing, hey, I should be valued more. I'm putting a risk. I'm putting myself
facts.
out
Yeah,
at risk here. So, I mean, oh man, maybe it's just a lot of different things. I don't know. They should figure it out though, man. I would love to see what the structure looks like in terms of how much they budget towards paying their fighters versus how
yeah,
much they get to keep in their pockets. And I'm just
yeah,
curious, like if they could increase the fighter pay, they should. And one thing they shouldn't do, man, is like, or maybe I mean, I can see the benefit of it. Some contracts is like you show up, you get 25K, you win, you get another 25K. Just pay them 50K up front, man. Like
yeah,
let's.
yeah,
Well, I
yeah,
don't know, but I guess that makes
yeah.
them more enticed to deliver a really good performance or to win. So I
Yeah,
get it, but
yeah,
at the same time, it's like I don't know. I just feel bad. Like, look, if I'm a fighter and I'm like getting like the base pay, whatever it is. Let's just say I would get $13,000 to show up,
yeah,
$13,000 extra if I win, and hey, if
yeah.
I get a bonus, I mean, if I get like fight of the night or performance of the
Knock
night, I
on a
get
night.
another
Yeah,
50K.
yeah.
But then if I don't, I'm going in the fight like, hey, I can make up to
Right,
$76,000,
right.
but I go in the fight, I lose, and it's not a great performance. I
I get
leave.
knocked out.
Yeah, I leave with $13,000 versus $76,000. I mean that I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just it's a weird structure. I just feel like they should get paid
yeah. I
what
think
they're
so.
worth, but it's just a weird dynamic. I just try to put myself in people's shoes, right? Like I'd be pretty
For sure,
frustrated,
for
man.
sure.
I got all these
Yeah, I'm
expenses,
not.
you know. So
Yeah, dietitian, strength and conditioning, gym
yeah,
fees.
by
Uh,
taxes, by the end of the day,
yeah,
man, you're getting like
yeah,
$500 to bring home. It's like, yo,
yeah.
what?
Yeah, so I'm actually siding with the fighters right now. It's just like, bro, like you got all this money. Like it's no secret that the UFC it's not like they're hurting for money. Like you
No,
got all the cash for like break these people off, man. Like you
yeah.
gotta start breaking these boys and girls off. Like, I mean, I don't know, but
The
I
thing
guess
is, like
we'll
like a lot of the top fighters do get paid well. They could get paid better, but they do get paid well. It's
yeah,
like the ones that are like on the undercard or like the not as well known.
prelims.
Like like the DCs, the Bones, like Nunez. I don't think they're gonna be complaining too much about pay, But
Yeah,
at the same time, when you do find out how much they get paid, it's like probably should get paid a little more. I mean, especially if you're bringing
yeah,
in
I
that
would think so.
you're helping UFC bring in the money.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know, but
Yeah, I don't know.
we'll see
Yeah,
what
I don't know
happens. I
about.
really don't know what it's gonna look like, and I don't know what's gonna further develop from all this drama.
Yeah,
I got my popcorn though, so we'll
yeah,
see.
yeah. Me too. I'm ready. I'll be ready for 251. So before we end the show, man, you got any funny stories outside of you busting your ass when you went running today?
Well, I mean, I didn't explain what happened. I've been trying to like jog, get a little bit of cardio in, like 30 minutes a day or something like that. So I just started doing it like last week,
Yeah,
and well, I don't know, man. I made a lot of stupid decisions. Like one time when I ran, this was like when I first started, I wore these Reebok shoes without socks, and I don't know if I explained it on the show,
Mhm.
but the insoles in the shoe, they're like split heel shoes or something like that. So the insoles kind of stick up, and then I didn't wear socks because I was lazy. I just wanted to run out there and go, and I went about a mile, and then it's like, damn, my feet hurt, and it's because the insoles cut through my skin, so my
Oh
feet got all
my.
messed up. So I stopped
Oh,
running for like 5 days to let it heal, scab up, whatever. And then today, my dumb, I was about to cuss. My dumb self, I was so I usually bring my dog with me, and just jog with him, and then I started walking at one point, and then he ran up in the street, like, because sometimes when there's dogs at people's houses and bark, he
yeah.
gets scared, so he'll like go out off the curb. So I was like,
Right.
oh, let me make sure there's no cars. I don't want him to get run over. And then I was like, all right, let me move a little with him because I have like a leash that's, I don't want him to like
Retractable.
choke on himself or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so I didn't look when I was stepping, and I already have really crappy ankles because I used to skateboard and I used to land on the board bad and twist my ankles, so they're already the size of like tennis balls. They look like this. Um, so
You got
yeah,
cankles?
yeah, pretty much. So I landed on the curb wrong, and I heard and felt it crack, like, and I had to call my wife to pick me up. It was horrible. Yeah, I felt fainty, man. Like I got a little fainty. I had to lay down.
Oh man,
My
bro.
ears were buzzing really loud at one point, so it was really painful.
Oh man.
But
I
yeah,
feel
that's
kind
not
of
really
bad.
funny. I guess you asked me
Yeah.
about something funny. That
Yeah,
ain't
I was
really
trying to end the show on a high note.
funny.
Like, guys, this sounds depressing,
Do I have
man.
anything funny? Uh, oh, I have a little gripe about these earbuds.
Are they AirPods, bro?
Well, hold on. Before I look real cheap, I do have real AirPods.
Okay,
Okay,
because I was okay.
these are the real ones. They only stay charged about 30 minutes in my ear, and then they die. So I went online, went on Amazon, found these $30 generic AirPods. They're called, the model is T12 or something like that, and they sound pretty dope. Thing is, I started using them on a daily basis for like work calls and stuff like that.
Right, okay.
And then like I have on my ear, and then randomly the lady tells me disconnected. I'm like, disconnected? I didn't want to be disconnected, and then it says connected. I'm like, why the hell you keep disconnecting on me? Then when
Right.
I'm in a phone call, in the middle of a phone call, on the other end they're going, hello, hello. It like breaks out on me. It like goes on mute when it wants to. It disconnects when it wants to. So these suck. I'm gonna have to buy a new pair. Like Apple supposedly in
I think
September or in later this year. I think pretty soon actually they're gonna announce like a new AirPod model. I think it's gonna be like yours, like the studios. But I'm
mhm.
curious to see if they release or announce a new generation of AirPods like in ear as well.
Well,
But
I
I
thought they
think
had the noise cancellation joints, the
I don't
AirPod
like
too.
I don't like those. I like the earpod style where it doesn't, you don't stick it in your ear.
Got it,
It
understood.
just hangs in your ear.
Gotcha, I know what you're
Uh,
saying.
it's good for me. Like if you're outside, you don't always want noise canceling. Of course, the AirPod Pros, you can take that off and have like transparent mode or something where if you're walking around, you can literally hear everything, but also hear the music. But I just hate the way they feel, man, when they like stick
Gotcha.
them in your ears.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping maybe, man. Look, I gotta get a new one of these. These ain't it. Look, they're hella bigger too. You see it? They're
Yeah,
hella
they look like
bigger.
dental floss, yeah.
Yeah, these look horrible. I mean, these look horrible too, but these look worse.
They look
It's
like
all
dental
bad.
floss.
Yeah,
So I
so
mean, trying to think of funny
don't
stories.
get them. That's my main thing.
You know what? Since we're talking about consumer things, I'll piggyback off of that. So, GameStop has like PlayStation Days or something like that through like
Yeah, I saw that. I think it's through
so
PlayStation, right? Like PlayStation
yeah.
Store even does it.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, whatever. So I go to GameStop the other day, bro. And so I go to GameStop and I've been dying to play Death Stranding for like ever since it came out last year. And so one of the games that was on PlayStation Days on sale was Death Stranding. So I think I got it for like $25. I was like, nah, nothing. Let's do it. Go down to GameStop, get the game, download it, whatever. And like I've played literally probably about 2 hours, and I would rather watch 2 hours of watching paint dry. Like
So
it's
is that
more
the game
energy.
you're telling me about? That it's the same developers of Metal Gear Solid?
Medicare, it is. So man, it's not entertaining. Like I have not had fun with it at all.
Is it
Like
mostly
it's not
video,
cool. Like
or is there a lot of? There's not that
it's a
much.
lot of cutscenes. It's a
Mm.
lot of cutscenes. There's been a lot of cutscenes so far, but also it's just the gameplay. The pace is just too damn slow for me. Like I'm not a hack and. I mean, I am a hack and slash type of person, like Assassin's Creed and things like that. But Tomb Raider or Uncharted and stuff like that. But bro, like even Metal Gear Solid, even though that's a little bit slow, like
Mm-hmm.
you get to do things. Like you get to put a box on and like hide in a
Hide in
box
a
or
box.
smoke
Yeah.
smoke cigarettes and things like that. So it's just this game is just the worst $25 I probably spent on a video game in a long, long, long time. Like I can't even think was the last time I bought like a terrible, crappy video game, but this is one for sure. Like it's not. I don't think I'm gonna finish it. Like I'm more than like ready to take it back to GameStop. So
Did you buy it pre-owned?
I think I did.
If you did, you could return it. One.
Oh yeah, I got the receipt. I do have the
There
receipt. I'm
you
pretty sure
go.
I did.
Now,
Yeah.
we talking games. One game I started really getting into. I played it on the PC, but of course, I know we both have it on the PS4. Like Call of Duty Warzone.
Is it like
So
Fortnite?
yeah, here's the thing. So I tried it on the PS4 for the first time a while back, and I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
really feeling it. I was like, man, once you die, you're dead. It kind of sucks. I'm more into
Yeah,
like
yeah, 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 yeah,
death
yeah, yeah.
match because I
Yeah.
die a lot. So let's just
Me
say,
too. Yeah.
So if I die, I want to just respawn and keep going.
Sure. Yeah.
I played it on my computer the other day, and it is free on PC. I think it's
Okay.
free everywhere, honestly. Just
Okay.
Warzone, just Warzone.
Right.
I played, and I actually played with these guys. I played with John for one, and then
Okay.
two random other people online. But
Okay.
they actually were communicating with me through the headset, and I was like, bros, I have no idea what I'm doing in this game. I don't know what to do. So they were actually teaching me, like,
Right.
hey, there's a lot of elements to the game, actually, and it is kind of fun. It's really addicting because, like, once you die, doesn't mean you're dead. Like,
Gotcha.
you have other teams, they can do, like, they can get contracts on the map, earn money, and if you die, it costs $4,500 to respawn you if you find like a shop area.
Right.
So you can always come back. So it's actually pretty fun. Like the other day, I got like second place with the team, so it was kind of fun, like just playing. So so we should try it, man. I know you're not really that into it, but
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be better than what I've just been playing the last few days or so, man. Like it's
playing
been
or watching.
a little bit of both. Like, bro, like even the cutscenes are so slow where I'll start getting on my phone, looking at social. Like these cutscenes are long, bro. Like
And you can't
long.
skip them, or you don't want to. You want to.
You don't really want to either. Yeah, so that's the thing. So, yeah, bro, it's just I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Like it's bad. Like I don't want to.
But you know what I do recommend?
What's up?
Everybody subscribing to this podcast, the
Yes.
Lions Den podcast, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Castbox, etc. Anchor, etc. Shout out Anchor for helping us.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Zoom as well today.
Yep. So that's what I do recommend everybody do.
And tell them where they can find you at on your social media, where they can.
As always, Instagram, I am Mike, MIKE.O. That's where you can find me on the Instagram. Add me, I'll add you back. How about you, man?
Hey, you can always find me on the gram at Money Compton. You can always find me on the Twitterverse at Eric T. Compton as well. So other than that, bro, let's run this back next week, man.
Next week, season 2, episode 2 in the bag.
Yeah.
Next week, we got episode 3 coming up. Until then, peace out.
Let's do it. Out. Have a good night.
Peace. Uh-oh, stop.